Hello and welcome to another episode of Blades of Glory. You'll notice we're on a player's screen page. That means we have signed a player. We've actually signed a few. This is the least interesting. I think you'll be glad to know. Ellery Balcom came in for 140k from Brentford. Basically, just as a backup keeper, I thought maybe he could become quite a good player, but I don't really think it looks likely given his potential ability. But he's a solid enough keeper. George Long wanted out, so I thought we'd bring in someone to replace him. And he's capped at England under 19, so that's quite good. So maybe there's a bit of potential there, but he's unlikely to overtake Ortola. Otherwise, in terms of transfers, we have brought in two more players. Um, Carlos Castro is the main one, and then there's another one I'll get onto after. Um, we brought him in an advanced forward role, basically because he's just an upgrade on Ched Evans. Ched Evans is getting on a bit now. This chap's 23 years old. He's played 3 times for Spain under 21, so that's pretty good signs. The only thing he's not really that great at is determination. We brought him in for 3.5 million. I think that can rise a bit from Sporting Gijón or whatever you pronounce her name. Goal scoring record not great there, but average rating pretty good for the second division. You got a lot of assists. That's what we're looking for our strikers to do. Have sort of a good combination between themselves and be able to provide assists for each other. I think he's quite similar to Clough, maybe a bit better at the finishing side of things. So hopefully he can be one of our main goal scorers. He'll basically come into the first team, and it means we've got him quite cheaply. We might not have to look for as many strikers as we would have had to look for if we hadn't brought him in next season. And then the last player we brought in, not this transfer window, but a following transfer window, you can see he is joining us on the 1st of July, and his scout report is absolutely incredible. 4.5 star on both of these. He can play pretty much any role in central midfield, which is so useful. Um, and yeah, he's played really, really well for Hamilton in the Premiership and then in the Championship of Scotland. Just looks like a really good all-round player, to be honest. He'll probably be in that deep-lying playmaker role. We might actually swap around a few roles next year. Maybe look to use a Carolera or something in there. I don't know, but things that stick out to me is basically his mental ability. Like he's really, really good there. Basically, very solid player all round, and only 22 years old, been capped for Scotland, so he's got a lot of potential. Now, getting on to the actual episode then. First of the games we played was up against Ipswich, and they were actually doing very well in the league. They were in 5th at this point, and had that 4-4-2 formation we find a bit tricky. Reece Nelson, Grant Ward on the wings, they've got some quite useful players. This one, I think we only brought Sharp back in and maybe Freeman as well, just as a bit of rotation, as well as the central midfielders. And the game started off pretty well for us. We managed to take the lead in the 14th minute. One of those crosses that used to always result in nothing basically when the keeper mucked up, but since the update they've actually been goals after, which is nice to see. Stearman got his first goal for the club actually in the second half, which was rather boring actually until quite late on when they scored and we scored, but it ended 2-1 to us. Good result, good solid stats you can see there. We dominated the game, and it was nice to sort of pick up a bit from our losing form. Obviously we smashed Brentford last episode, but we were on a little bit of a poor run of form going into that. So we've consolidated that with this win against Ipswich. Fairly comfortable against a pretty good side. Now, the next game I'm going to show you is against Norwich in the league. You might remember we had that Aston Villa Cup game. Basically, we drew that 1-1. It was a pretty boring game. Actually, we rotated a lot and we didn't play that well at home. So basically, we have to play that again, so I'll show you that one. There's no point really showing you just a 1-1 draw, which means nothing. Update though, Nicky Quinn is in the side because Ender Stevens and Timon were both injured, unfortunately for about 3 or 4 weeks. Timon does come in towards the end of this set of fixtures and whatnot, but Quinn was in for about 4 or 5 games, and he actually had quite a good impact for us, and he did pretty well. This game, I'm not sure if he appears, but it was up against Norwich, so obviously a tough side, so we'll see how that gets on. And this game, actually, quite similarly to the Ipswich one, was fairly comfortable for us. Turnbull getting in with a goal, and then Carter Vickers, 2 defenders. Obviously, Turnbull scored so many this season. I think he scored a few more in this episode, or a couple more. Carter Vickers there, centre-back scoring. It's great to see that basically everyone's getting involved in the goals this season. Like Brooks has notched in with a few, all the strikers have. Been a couple from the central midfielders like Coots and Fleck scored that brilliant goal in the last game. And then the central midfielders and the wing backs actually have got in and goals. So it's great to not be relying on just one player or a few players or just a group of strikers or whatever. It's great that everyone's getting in on the act. So yeah, great performance against Norwich. Brings us to 3 wins in a row, 3 comfortable wins as well. So it was nice to see that. The next game was that replay in the cup against Aston Villa, and due to that, I forgot to take the screenshot. I'm afraid, but this team was again rotated by us. I wasn't really that bothered because of the league being so tight at the top. I thought we'll rotate a lot. It's not really worth wasting players' fitness. So there's a number of players come in like Calvert-Lewin and Sharp and Carruthers, which wouldn't usually be playing. We got off to a good early start from another headed goal by Jordan Turnbull. He's scored, I think, 6 or 7 for the season now. They did get one back in the second half. Khadija with a pretty nice run and finish, 67th minute. But very late on, I could not believe this. Nicky Quinn, the left wing back, 16 years old, comes into the squad. Not the most brilliant of strikes, but he wins the game for us. That's absolutely incredible. And actually, also, they missed a penalty in the 22nd minute. That was saved by Balcom, the young lad who's come into the side, which maybe not doesn't have quite the potential, but he made a good save for us. So it was good to see him getting a save there. And overall, as it moves away, overall fairly even game. They didn't have many shots on target. They did have a lot of shots that went wide, but with a rotated squad away from home against Aston Villa, that was a pretty good result. And I'm very pleased for young Nicky Quinn. The next league match then was away against struggling Oldham, who were rock bottom with I think 11 points after 27 games in the league, and their manager had the cheek to say that he didn't have any respect for me as a manager. 24th versus first. I think maybe he's just given up. Maybe he's thought, okay, I'm going to start trying to use mind games now to win the games because my players aren't good enough. But anyway, this game really went pretty well. We went back to our more standard team with Spearing, Fleck, Ched Evans and Zach Clough in there. Of course, Nicky Quinn stayed in, and Esri Konsa actually came back from injury in this one. And well, Richie Wellens, his strategy did not work. He actually had a massive go at us before the game, but we tore them to shreds. Evans there doing what we want the new man Castro to do, running down the wing and whipping it in for Clough. Both of them being creators ideally. Clough actually got a hat-trick in this game, Bulldog down the right. Easy finishes for him, a penalty and 2 quite easy finishes put on a plate for him, but he gets into those positions all the time, especially from the deep lying forward role. It's good to see him getting into those kinds of positions. Konsa got a goal on his game back, which was nice to see, and then again capped the display in the 68th minute. Clough didn't find the net there, but he put enough pressure on their defender to put it in, and yeah, a very good result from us. Ched Evans and Clough played really well, and we played well as a team. They didn't really have many chances, just shows you again that they're a very poor side, why they're rock bottom at the bottom of the league, and why we're first. Actually, I think it was a pretty good result. The penultimate game I've got to show you was actually a very tough one away against Middlesbrough. I don't know if you remember, but I think the second game we played of last season, it was a massive 3-3 draw for us actually. It was really good. That was probably the best game actually I can remember from this save, or the most exciting one anyway from the neutrals perspective. And this one there weren't too many changes aside from the fact that David Brooks has been injured for 4 to 5 weeks, unfortunately, so Calvert-Lewin came into the attacking mid position. And this game was another cracker. They got an early goal through Diaz, the assist from Harry Wilson, and then they took a 2-0 lead in the 34th minute. I was a bit worried. Ledbetter scoring again against us. If you remember, he scored 2 in that game before. Calvert-Lewin from the attacking midfield position got us to 2-1, and then we conceded again to make it 3-1 to them. Macedo playing in Ledbetter. He's just, I don't know what it is, he just loves playing against us. We did get one back though in the 69th minute. We did have to make a few changes basically throughout the game to try and stay in it. It took a lot of tinkering from me just to get it to this 3-2 point. But overall, I think we were maybe perhaps a little bit unlucky. They just took their chances and we gave away a penalty. So not a bad result away. Well, not a good result at all to lose, but not a bad performance away against one of the league's best sides, in my opinion. Although they have lost a couple of their better players there. I've noticed they don't have Gibson or Ayala in there, but anyway, a pretty good side. So to lose is annoying, but not that disheartening, really. Next game I've got to show you, or the last game, is actually against Brighton, who are another side you think would be one of the best teams in the division, but that hasn't really shown in this game. We brought Vetleyson in, and Turnbull came in for, I think, Jack O'Connell in this game, and also Timon was back, and him coming back really showed up for us, basically. So let's have a watch. And well, Timon, yeah, he pretty much immediately in the 5th minute of the game was involved and sets up Cloth for another pretty easy finish for him. But this one actually was quite tough because it was a volley, and then Timon again with another ball into the box, almost finding the man, and then Fleck smacks it in from range. I didn't actually see that one in 3D, so I didn't realise the keeper got a touch on it. It wasn't quite as good as I thought it was, but within 12 minutes, again, Timon on the wing, coming down the left side. Thank you very much, Nicky Quinn, for coming in and covering that position, but I think Timon might be a slightly better player. So yeah, he basically got 3 assists this game. Clough got a hat-trick. That's our 4th goal of the game. I think we made it 5-0 before half time, and then the sort of classic thing of Football Manager. You make it 5-0 or 4-0 or 3-0 in the first half. You think, oh yeah, we'll go on to score 6, 7, whatever. That just doesn't happen. They got a goal back in the 69th minute. They didn't really have much going on. Jordan Turnbull own goal, actually. He scored a lot of goals. That's his first one against us this season. I'll just click on him just to show you, really. 7 goals in 23 appearances from the centre-back position in the Championship. He's 4-star now as well. That is pretty incredible. But yeah, also an incredible performance. They had 1 shot on target. That was their goal, although it was an own goal, so maybe that wasn't their goal. But yeah, we dominated this game. Brighton aren't doing that well in the league at the moment, but fantastic performance against a team with some very good players as well. Right, after all that, let's show you the table then. It is still very tight at the top. Fulham have a chance to go 2 points behind us, unfortunately, but there is a little bit of a gap coming between the top 3, so it's probably going to be a 3-pronged sort of race for the title, or well, just for the promotion. I would definitely settle for just promotion at this point. Oldham down there, Birmingham, they're very detached. We won't worry about that part of the table anymore. We're more just worried about this 47 points. We're 13 away, but obviously a very poor run of form could bring us down there. Swansea aren't doing that well. Brighton aren't doing that well. Slightly surprising, those two. Huddersfield aren't doing amazingly well as well. So the relegated teams really aren't having a great time of it, and that may be a potential to nick a few more players actually next season. Clough, I didn't touch on it before, but he's been wanted by Sunderland. There's nothing there, but they basically put in a bid of 9 million. I wasn't going to accept that. I bought him in for like 5 million or something. So he's wanted basically. So that's a little bit annoying to see. But let's actually get on to this game. It is in the FA Cup against Watford. This really is a test for us. The first test for a while. I have rotated it around a bit. We brought in Carlos Castro. See how he does. Perfect game to bring him in the cup, although it's against quite a good team. We're just going with Ortola and then O'Connell, Steam and Carter Vickers. O'Connell really has just played second fiddle to Jordan Turnbull this season. But it's just a case of rotating them around, really. He's gone down to 3-star as well. He's not been brilliant, but I still have faith in him. He's our captain, I believe. So, I'm vice captain above Stearman this season. Although Stearman's played pretty well, so that might have to swap around again next season. But then otherwise, we've got Baldock on the right, Timon on the left. I mentioned he's come back in. Ender Stevens was injured, but he's close to being back from injury, so Nicky Quinn's unlikely to get any more games for us. In the midfield, Coots and Lundstrom. Attacking midfield, still Calvert-Lewin. He's probably our best player in there. I did toy with bringing in someone in on loan, but I decided against it because he's back in 10 days and 3 weeks. I didn't really want to bring someone in to the squad, which is quite big anyway with some of the players we're trying to get to play from the youth sort of setup. Otherwise, we just got Clough and then Castro up front, and then we've put on our more disciplined and countering stuff on the tactics as well. So let's just go into this game. Or can we give him the number 9? Yes, we can. Brilliant stuff. Hopefully, he can be a proper number 9 for us. His goal scoring record for Gijon or whatever Wasn't brilliant, not brilliant in the Spanish second division, but he does look like a really good player potentially. And the way we're playing at the moment, I think we can just accommodate one new player coming in and hopefully provide chances for him. They look like they're playing a very strong side actually. Deeney, Chalobah, Doucouré, Ben Gibson, he's gone from Middlesbrough. Don't recognise too much of their defence though, so hopefully we can get a bit of joy with those two. Clough scored 2 hat-tricks in the last 3 games. Hopefully he can carry on some sort of form from that. It's been pretty even so far, no chances or no shots from either side actually coming up to this highlight, but there may be a chance for us here. Lundstrom, can he find someone? Yes, he can out wide. George Baldock plays it through into Clough. Can he find the man in the box? Castro with a debut goal. I thought it might have been offside there actually. A debut goal 10 minutes in against the Premier League side. I mean, I was a little bit nervous about this signing. Obviously, it doesn't mean he's going to be brilliant because he's scored a goal in his debut, but that is great signs. Clough and Castro combining like they've played together for years. Fantastic stuff from them. He basically had it on a plate, but it's good to see that he got in the right position. They still haven't actually had a shot, even despite the fact that they've had a lot of possession. They've not really been threatening our goal. As I say that, they've got one on target, but it was a long shot. There's a chance though here. Osako into Morganella. Ooh, I thought we could have cleared that, but Amrabat got a shot just wide there. They've had plenty of shots in the last 10 minutes now. They're just firing them off at our goal, but we've actually managed to calm the storm there before the end of the half, although they've started threatening us again. But obviously, it's fantastic to be 1-0 up already. I guess I'll do that as well. Retain possession. I don't like retaining possession at all unless you're really hanging on at the end of the game, trying to see out a game. So we're just going to keep it like that. I don't think I'm going to make too many changes in this game. Or bring on too many players. I might bring on Billy Sharp for Castro just to bring on someone with a bit more experience at the end of the game. Here we are, another chance. We just lost it though, but we've won it back. Lundstrom, nicely done, nicked in there. Clough, can he produce something? Not a brilliant ball out wide. Amrabat cuts it out, and now Morganella and Timon. I thought he might have ran out of position there actually, but we still got the ball. We still not let them get that close to us. Pezzella, this is good pressure from us actually. They can't really move forward, but they have found the ball forward into Pereira. Amrabat cross goal, and Deeney heads it in. And really, we've not had a chance since that first early goal. I think it may be due to the fact that we got an early goal. They've dominated the game more than they would have otherwise, but we may look to make some changes. This is a bit annoying that they potentially have another chance here, but we've got the ball back a couple of times, but they still kept possession. Pezzella into Chalobah, back to Pezzella, Doucouré, Pezzella again. They like playing it to him, obviously. Doucouré through, and there's Amrabat. He's been threatening this game. I think we will make a change to our player instructions, just go more direct now, and just try and basically get the ball out. And up to the strikers, we might also make a change. Timon's not having a great game, but we don't really have anyone to bring on for him. We'll take Calvert-Lewin off, and then we'll see what's happening in 10 minutes and probably switch around a striker. Clough, surprisingly, isn't having a great game, even despite his assist, although it might not have been registered as an assist. No, it wasn't. So we're going to take him off for Sharp, actually, instead of Castro. Hopefully, I don't know if I want to replay. I don't really want to replay, given that this was the live game that I'm showing you, and it means I can't show you the next one, but maybe there's a chance here. Coots plays it in, it's cleared, and we might still retain possession. O'Connell does well. It's going out wide to Baldock, and there is Lundstrom out wide again, but it's a misplaced pass. That's happened a few times this game from Lundstrom that I've seen. We do win the ball back, and that is what he's good at, Lundstrom. He puts a shift in. He's not brilliant technically, but he will win the ball back for us. And there's Carruthers coming forward. I don't think he scored for us this season, Carruthers. Probably because he's not got much game time, but obviously he was very, very good last year with those long shots. He's not produced any this season. Can't really blame him though. He's probably going to be leaving, unfortunately, next year. So that's why he has not scored many goals. As it looks like time is ticking away, it's going to be a 1-1. A good result, you've got to say, against a Premier League side. And I don't know how well they're doing, but presumably quite a good Premier League side in Watford, given how they're doing this season in real life. I don't know if they still have Marco Silva, but a reasonably good result for us. Like, there's going to be another fixture, which is a bit annoying considering it's so tight at the top, but I'll take it. At home, I reckon we can probably try and dominate the game like we have, like against teams like Brighton. Other teams at home, like Swansea, we dominated that game, but we didn't win. Okay, so I've just had the fifth round draw. If we get through against Watford, we've got a massive game away against Man City where we'll probably get battered. But I think that's something you'd want to see if it happens. So basically, I'll come back for that game if I get through. If not, I'm going to plan to come back. Probably this game against Huddersfield, just because we've played against Bristol City and MK Dons in live games before, and it helps my thumbnail out because I can put a different team in there to sort of showcase to anyone wanting to watch us against a different team, basically. So that'll be the game we come back in if we don't get through against Watford. If we do, we'll play against Man City, and that'll probably be in 3 or 4 games in the league. So Barnsley, Birmingham, Cardiff, we might end up playing, and then we'll come back after that. Also, something I will say, I've basically been uploading 5 times a week for the last few weeks since I've been making videos. That's unlikely to continue next week. You'll be watching this on Monday, but basically I'm going to start working on Monday, so I'm going to have to try and rearrange my video making schedule, and maybe make it 4 times a week. I don't know. Basically, I'll have more information about that in the next video, which I'll make probably on Monday or Tuesday. So then basically I'll know when I'm working and stuff like that from then. So yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for watching this episode. We won't have moved in the league, but I'm just going to leave this here actually at the end of the episode. We are first in the division. Reading lost their game, or no, Fulham won their game, so they've caught us up, but we got 5 points on third place. So tune in next time to see if we can keep that up. But until then, thank you very much for watching and goodbye.